Hey, welcome to another episode of Electrical Theology. I'm your host, Charles, and this is Esoteric Life Coaching. What does that mean for some of y'all? What's Esoteric Life Coaching mean? It's just esoteric is just your own secrets that are within you that you may or may not be aware of. And through different mediums, which today is mediumship, there's larger ships, smaller ships, and we're in the middle ship. We're the Goldilocks ship. We're in the middle, which we can then communicate with those in a higher realm and also in lower frequency realms. And being able to take people who don't have access to the higher realms or dimensions that we then can translate or update or upgrade that information to resonate with the higher frequencies. It's much like just taking a different language, taking binary code or analog information and changing it over to digital. Right? There's a process to make that happen, right? Or synthesize real sound into a synthesized sound, like using the Fourier, what's called the Fourier or Fourier or Fourier. I always mispronounce it. Fourier's theorem, where we can just isolate through an algorithm until that natural wavelength sound, we can then synthesize it in different forms to make the real sound. And we'll scrap all that. So esoteric is just basically drawing out or connecting the information that's within us, and what's within us is connected to the entire universe, and it's about bringing that information out. And then there are other guides, angels, gods, whatever you want to call this, that are here to help us translate, connect, and interpret this information. And so that's what I teach from the esoteric, from the ancient arts. I've been doing this stuff for about 45 years or more, teaching it for a few decades as well. And I'm bringing and presenting this information to the world. It's my mission, right, to bring this. Mission is just missing ions, and so we are missing parts of our download because this little jump drive of a body can only handle so much gigs of life. And we can't take the whole ocean within us, but we can have access to the whole ocean of knowledge. And so through tarot is one of these systems. Again, these are just cardboard and paint. But what it does is help us tune into or tap into or Google search, if you will. It's called in the universe, that we can focus in on a certain frequency and download that information from the Akashic Library, the Universal Library, whatever you want to call it. There's names for everything. I don't get hooked into the name. We just want to download the information, and then what we do with that information is totally up to you, the individual. I'm just here to present the information, guys. So what we'll start with today, we've been doing 2 decks. If you've been following my videos, if you're new to my channel, thanks for showing up. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And then go back and watch a bunch of the old videos, because I am beginning to take them down and put them over into another site. And I'll put those links down below for further classes, courses, and whatnot. So go back there before I take them all down. Watch them all, as many times as you can. And that is the foundation. The last 80-something videos I've done is about the foundation of the esoteric and understanding your self-worth, your core values, right? Understanding how to do mediumship, understanding the secret grid of what we're tapping into. And it's not really a secret, it's in plain sight, or it's within our esoteric insight, our third eye, but it's up to us to bring it out. And once you finally do that, then you hone that skill, then you start bringing it and serving it to community to help people find their missing ions that make them whole and why they're even here on this earth and to serve. So let's get going, guys, if you will. We're going to go ahead and just throw out a couple of cards right off the bat. I got to saying so much. So let's just go ahead and throw a couple out. Now I do read the cards in reverse, or any of the verses of how they show up. The verse is the universe, the one verse, the universe, cosmos, galaxies, whatever you want to call it, right? And so you have a verse, you have a one voice, a one verse. Verse is also an anagram for serve. We're here to serve, right? That's the one service. We're all here to serve the energy. We are energy, and we're just here to serve our energy, right? It's that simple, right? But we get complicated with all the things that energy creates, and that we are the creator of this energy. And then when you become aware that you're creating your world, then you can start eliminating the stuff that you've created and get it out of your world and open up to more possibilities. So what we have right off the bat in this deck, called Man Holding a Heart, right? And it's reversed, right? And 45, the number of that card is 45. 45 is a 9. 4 and 5 is 9. 9 is the ending of a cycle. So there was where you did have someone else holding your heart, and then that came to an end, and you've been in a rediscovering process over the last however many months, years, or whatever. And it's time to come out, right? It's showing you that you're ready to come out. You've already made the decision that you're going to start doing it, or playing around with the idea like, you know what? I may be able to practice. I don't know what current. I don't know if I should do this or that. But you've been focusing on it a little bit. And it's about unfolding that heart, right? Bringing it back out, being vulnerable again. But this time around, since you've reflected in this down period you had, it's about reflecting on who you are, what you like, what your boundaries are, right? Are you being an egotistical, dominating ass, or are you ready to be an open-hearted, listening, deep listener to your partner, right? Hopefully you've done your work, and then that's why you're ready to come out, because you want to have a relationship on your terms, not our ancestral terms, in one sense, right? And the next card we have here is the World card. Y'all see that okay? Right? The World is the world is an oyster, I think, and again, it goes down to possibilities, right? The world is a possibility that you can have anything you want. Now, that's a saying we can't have what we want, right? Because we have limitations within our brain, so it keeps us from getting what we want. But the possibility of having things, right? At my age, I'm not going to go play NBA basketball. I'm not going to be an NFL player, right? I'm not going to go back and fight in wars in that sense. But I do have the possibility, right, of accessing what it is I want to do, right, knowing that I've done a lot of things, but what do I want to do now? Whatever your age is right now, whatever you want to do, right, this is the possibility that the World card is presenting us, right, and being that we're going to begin to open up our heart again and bring our heart to the world, and how do you want to involve yourself or integrate yourself as part of your new mission, right, of helping other people, serving them with what you went through. How did you get over it, right? And then we have walking away. Right? Walking away is walking away from the things that no longer are helping you, right? Walking away from the things helps you get back your energy that you chose to give away or shared or whatever. And you're walking away from that world now. And then you're bringing that into the possibility. So the more energy you free up, the more possibilities free up. The more ideas you'll get, the more intuitive hits you'll get, the more angels you'll connect to. You making sense? So let's go with the... I went to go get the card. Yeah. We got the card, so let's go add some more to this. Today we're just going to do a basic reading, a 4-card spread. All right. The 4-card spread, the basic is actually, let's do a 5-card spread. So the first card we throw out here is the Emperor, right? That's in the middle. The Emperor, same thing with this card here, right? We had the Man Holding a Heart, which is in reverse. And then this card, right, is the Emperor, right? And that's an establishment. So you're beginning to establish your boundaries. You're beginning to establish a job, establish a partnership, right? Because you're coming out of an old relationship. And again, relationships can be any relating to other people's ship. We talked about this today, is about mediumship. Is your ship larger or smaller than someone else's ship. Ship is just the way we are able to transfer back and forth our heart's information, our mind's information to one another. Right? If you're demeaning someone and you think you're a bigger ship, then you're going to have inequality within that relationship. There's going to be a dominant submissiveness that's imbalanced, right? And so more imbalance comes in, your possibilities of what you want to do and how you want to serve are going to start disconnecting. You won't have those. You'll feel in a state of panic, a state of anxiety, that nothing's going right, right? But the Emperor's card here is all about establishment, taking action, right? So we're going to see what's behind what we're coming out of, right? So what we did have, this card is what we call luxury. Basically, it's the Daughter of Wands, or the Princess of Wands, or however you want to look at that. It's the this card's equivalent to the Page of Wands. This is just daughter in this deck. And what was behind us is that we had luxury. We had a nice life, if you will, as we described it, but that life, for whatever reason, has come to an end. It's outlived its thing. It either was taken from you, if you will, or you chose to indirectly or subconsciously end it, or something different is coming along and you're open to that new thing, but you have to get rid of the old thing first. It makes sense? Or you choose to do a different path. You choose to go on a diet or something, but all your friends don't, so they leave you alone while you go on this new diet. Right? So we can see what is our foundation. So as I just said, we had to get rid of stuff, and we pair that with man holding the heart in reverse. Then we have sorrow, we have regret, we have energy that we are still in a process of mourning, right? We're still sad about what was. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday. But part of mediumship here is that we're focused on what it is we want to do next. Right? This is all sort of in the foundation, is what's underneath us, our subconscious thoughts, and what's behind us is what we've already lived in our life. So we want to see sort of what's the energy that's going to be coming in here. What's hanging over our head? And what's hanging over our head is the Hangman, and it's in its proper position. So we need to see life from a new perspective. Right? So life is, again, right underneath the world cards are right up top. These y'all can't see it, but it's right there. Is that we have a new opportunity for new possibilities. And are you up to taking new possibilities? But it means being your unique self. Right? We got out of these relationships that we sort of cohabitated or codepended ourselves with, and now it's coming out of those. And then this last few months, for some about 3 months, it could be longer, but for the last 3 or 4 months, it's about figuring out who you are. And there's nothing really to figure out. It's just being with yourself and owning up who you are. Ownership is own your own ship. Right? Being able to relate and communicate and be honest with yourself. State what is. Right? And then open up and ask the ancestors for divine information about that. And that's what the cards are. They're divine information. Divine is die and vine. Right? A two-way communication, die and vine. Right? So let's see what's headed, see what we're headed toward. Right? And so in the future, it's Six of Cups. Six of Cups is a great card. It means that things are going, we have plenty of vessels in which to fill up. In the past, we may have had one vessel. Right? One heart, one relationship, right? One source of income. But this card here is telling me that because you are doing your work, you're opening your heart, you're choosing to come out again, much like the Wheel of Fortune, we're coming out, is that we got plenty of receptacles here to fill up. So you have a lot of possibilities that are coming your way. Right? So let's sort of get a little more information on the So what's the transition that we need to sort of understand between what was and being our unique selves, right? So we can fill in the position here, if you will, and which is Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is getting everything in order, right? You may be at a place in your life right now where things seem to be in chaos or disorder, right? But it's up to you to place an order, right, in the way in which you want it. Since you've done your contemplation, right? Contemplation is kind and template, right? Is you're laying the template for how you want the energy to come in henceforth. I know, right? It's a funny word, henceforth. But we want that energy to come in a certain way now. We've done our work, and we may not know everything yet. We just don't know what we don't know. And we don't know all the possibilities, but that's what we're beginning to open up to. And so we need to go ahead and get things in order. Now, even if you don't know what it is, getting something in order could be if you want to open a business, if you want to start a YouTube business, if you want to start a partnership, be in a partnership with someone, an intimate partnership, is when you go into this next partnership, because the last one didn't work out, and there wasn't a prenup or there wasn't some sort of organization to it, it was in disarray when it went its separate ways, right? So we want to make sure that we have our order. We are going to consciously, not subconsciously, we're going to consciously place our order into the higher frequencies, into the higher shifts, have that energy come down and form into what it is that we want to form in our possibilities. Is that making sense, guys? I'm being a little general here because, in essence, a lot of us have all gone through different things. But we're coming into, I think tonight, there is a new moon, partial eclipse. That can have an effect, and Venus is still in Libra, so there's a lot of love energy right now. So it's about bringing our love. We were all sort of contained a little bit. We weren't allowed to share, lest you be taken off to jail or prison or something, right? If you're surfing out in the middle of the ocean and a cop comes up and says, hey, you need to get in here because you're spreading disease. But there's just been this sort of new, or this goofiness that has been going on. And it's put us in an isolated state. And it's hopefully helped you to go inside the esoteric and really, who is it? Who are you? Right? That you've defined and undefined and redefined who you are. And this thing that you're putting in order, this new job, this new place, this new person, whatever, right? You've been working on something, and you're sort of maybe thinking about giving up. Right? You're not getting the results you want. Right? Other people are telling you shouldn't do this, but if it's in your heart, again, we're opening our hearts again. We're opening our hearts. And maybe you're getting the defeatist of, why? What's the point of all this? This reading that I'm giving you right now is telling you keep things in order, keep it going. You may not see the unseen process, which you can call faith. These things are working behind the scenes. Things in the energy realm are doing what they're doing, and so it's up to us to stay the course, perseverance. Right? Being in order is perseverance of being your unique self. The universe is calling, because we talked about yesterday about upgrading. We're going from 2.0 human to 3.0 human, Homo Illuminus. Right? We're being downloaded with more information. And the dimensionals, angel realms, astral realms, whatever you want to call these realms, it's a new dimension, a new consciousness. The new consciousness is putting out the call for some of us to step up. Those who are willing to step up aren't just going to walk through a gate. You got to work. You have to carve your own path out to get to that gate. No one's going to carve this path out for you but you. Right? You got to do your work the way you do it in this life. And if people don't like that, that's their issues, not yours. You don't waste time with their issues. If they want to come along, that's fine. But they have their own path. But right now, it's about getting stuff in order, because when this gate or door or portal of consciousness fully opens up, you're going to be better prepared, pre-impaired, transmitter and receiver. You're going to be able to receive and transmit what's coming through and interpret. For all those people who didn't do their work, they're going to be hit by that storm. And yes, we can gloat over them and say, hey, I told you, right? But that's not what this mission's about. This mission, right, is about helping those people who didn't listen, right, who weren't willing to do their work. Now, they're still going to have to do their work, but at least they have a guide in front of them. And that's us, and that's why we're preparing and doing what we're doing. We may not understand why we're doing it, we're just doing it. That's your intuition telling you, just keep doing what you're doing. It will pay off. I know our own earthly brain says, yeah, but you got bills, we got food, we got this, I got to take care of people. But it's saying, stay the course, stay the course, stay the course. The ancestors are coming through and saying, stay the course. And again, the next card is work. 3 of stones, 3 of pentacles, whatever you want to call it, 3 of diamonds. You got to do your work. This is putting in the work, right? It's much like the workers that have to put up a brick and mortar store before the actual business moves in. We're the ones building the brick and mortar, if you will, the consciousness brick and mortar, the new cosmic brick and mortar, the consciousness 3.0, right? You may call it 3D to 5D. I don't care what y'all call it. It's a new wave coming in, and have you built your vessel that can withstand the long durations without doing things the way we used to do them, and believing in the traditions of finance, religions, and family. All this is changing, right? And are you ready to adapt when this wave hits? Right? Let's sort of see what's going on. And that's exactly what I'm going into, is the tower. Because what will happen is the floodgates will break open, right? We used to go on what was called the Ramblin' Raft Race in Florida, down the Hillsborough River. And they would dam that river up for a few days, and then they sent it out and said, okay, everyone can build their own raft, right? And you had some crazy ones, rockets, you had humongous ones, little ones, you had whatever. It was fun, right? It was put on by a certain beer company. And as soon as those floodgates opened up, 50% of those floats went underneath. They weren't built properly, right? And then the rest of it, some got beat up, but about 40%, 30% actually made it to the very end of it, right? And so here, there's a lot of people preparing who are doing their work. Y'all will make it through the rough storm when this gate opens up. There's a financial crash about to happen. Are you ready? Are you prepared? You may not have a lot of money. That's okay, but you're prepared. Right? If you stick to your mission, you will see the reason why you're doing the work you're doing is because when this is all unveiled, you'll see why it is you learned what you learned and what you dealt with what you dealt. Because you're going to be the new teachers, the new instructors. You're going to help people restructure their life. Right? Structure is instruction by giving them instruction, which is structuring new ions. Because you've downloaded the new ions, the new blueprints. Right? And then our final card then is the High Priestess. She's about inspiration, but she is reversed in this reading. So in the past, you may have been feeling that, again, you weren't inspired. You're inspired, but you're losing faith, right? You're losing trust and belief in yourself. It's not about having faith, trust, or belief in anyone else. I don't know what those words mean to anyone else. Faith for me is that there is an unseen process happening. I go on Amazon, I put an order in, right? There's an unseen process. I don't need to know how Amazon's getting my package to me. All I know is that someone drops it off at my door. Right? The universe, when you put your order in, it does everything. You don't need to know everything it does. If you do, great. That's a great study. I've done it most of my life. It doesn't stop my package from getting to me or my downloads coming to me. Right? If I get too overthinking about the process, then I'm delaying the package showing up. Right? Package is just packing the age. I'm aging. So we were losing some inspiration. But I'm telling you that things are about to open up. And I always hear that in other people's readings and questions that it's about to, it's about to, about to. Well, 10 years have gone by. What's about to? Right? I sort of get frustrated when I go to other readers and just see what they come up with. Well, it's about to. I'm like, give me a time or date. And I've told you the time before and date before in my past videos is that between somewhere now and around November 6th or November 9th, somewhere in that time, you're going to see a massive shakeup happen in our system. Another what we call the military false flag, black flag, white swan event. There's different names for it, but there's going to be a cataclysmic event that's going to cause, or however they want to present it to you, the media wants to present it to you, it's just going to shake things up, and that is a transitional period to go from one place, one way of doing things to a new way of doing it. We went from analog to digital, right? Your life's going from an analog to a digit. Digit just means 10 or 1, and 10 is 1 and 0. We're going into a different frequency of communicating with the galactic, right? So is your ship a small ship or medium ship? If you want it to be a bigger ship, then you can own your ship, right? By having different relationships, right? On a broader perspective. So that'll be about do it today. We're going to go deeper into what specific plans do I see unfolding here in the extended. So if you want to join me there, there's going to be a link below in the description, and I'll see you over there. And don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, guys. Appreciate it.